Hi, everyone. Dr. Frankie here. It's Thursday, and I know many of you are aware of what I do, and some of you may be new to my channel, but I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm a board certified sex therapist, and I'm also the CEO of Little Gay Book Matchmaking and Little Black Book Matchmaking. So if you're single, get into our database, schedule a call with us. We can talk to you about matchmaking. If you want to find somebody awesome and you're tired of dealing with swiping, I know nobody loves swiping. And you're wanting to meet a quality partner. So reach out to us or get on our mailing list, all sorts of ways to kind of date smarter. And we'd love to share those ideas with you because we help folks every single day find amazing partners. Anyway, so like I said, I'm a psychologist, and I'm going to be talking about something that comes up often in my practice, where people are wondering, hey, is now a good time to go to couples therapy? So thought I would take today to share a little bit about my thoughts on this topic. So whether it's a friend who's working through things with their long-term partner or your addiction to Showtime's couples therapy, many of us are couples therapy curious, right? It may sound very alluring to have a kind of referee who can weigh in during your most difficult relationship conversations or help you explain where you're coming from. But it can also feel like an intimidating step to really take, and one that you're not really sure is this the right time to make this step? Does going to a couples therapist mean you're actually going to break up? I think a lot of people are fearful that if they say that they want to go see a couples therapist, it means that the couples therapist might help them break up. They don't necessarily do that. They can help you do that, but not always. Oftentimes, it's actually quite the contrary. A couples therapist doesn't need to be a last-ditch emergency measure either. Instead, a good couples therapist can be a long-term support that helps you both feel more resourced and supported in your relationship. And I'm going to describe all the ways how. You want to work on your communication. Communication is the foundation of a healthy relationship, and it's also very difficult to do well, at least all the time, right? Even those of us who work hard at direct communication and feel that we put a lot of effort into this area can find ourselves struggling with different conflict styles, apology languages, which I've talked about previously, or the divide between ask versus guess cultures. A couples therapist can be an enormous help in helping you resolve more than just the current issue you're facing, giving you the tools, communication strategies, and real-time feedback on them so that you and your partner can successfully connect and communicate even outside of the session. You keep having the same fight over and over again. Dishes, parenting, relationship with in-laws. Most relationships have a few tough issues that fights crop up around again and again. For some of us, it feels like more than that. We may find that this one issue is sucking the joy and connection out of the rest of the relationship or causing the compounding resentment over time. The recurring fight may have expanded to something that's starting to seem like a core dynamic of the relationship, like an anxious avoidant attachment style, for example. It may feel like it's come to a point where the general health of the relationship is hinging on successfully working through this issue. And anything that keeps coming up again and again, like, why try to sort it out on your own? Obviously, there's a pattern that's developing, and you need somebody that can mediate, that's a professional, and help you navigate through it successfully so that you acquire skills so you do better the next time. This may be a good time to seek out couples therapy if you're finding there's this pattern, right? If you've already been working on resolving the issue with your partner and neither of you feel like progress is actually being made, a couples therapist can help bring in a new, non-judgmental perspective and offer fresh insights that help you shift your thinking and behavior on this topic. Ideally, a couples therapist may be able to teach you both new strategies for dealing with this issue or point to work that it would be helpful for you to do in solo therapy that would move the needle on this concern, like pursuing sex therapy or trauma therapy. Sometimes it's really helpful for folks that are in couples therapy to actually seek out their own individual therapy and then come together as well for couples therapy. So you're feeling individually supported while also getting supported as a couple. You're struggling with sex or intimacy. Not having enough sex is one of the most common issues couples face across the board. If you're struggling with mismatched libidos or feeling challenged by disparate sexual interests, you're far from alone. Sex therapists are devoted to working through challenges specific to the bedroom, and you can be a great resource here. But a competent couples therapist should also be able to help you both untangle this complex and sensitive issue. While disparate desire and libido are a common concern, a couples therapist can help identify issues outside of the bedroom that may be actually impacting the disconnect in the bedroom, like unspoken resentment, areas of inequality, or dealing with difficulty in communicating about sex. For many of us, even if we're great communicators, shame and sex negativity make it much more difficult to talk openly when it comes to sex. A supported professional can help you work through these delicate and courageous conversations about intimacy and sexual connection for your relationship. I don't know about you, but I know my generation, many of us weren't even able to talk about sex with our parents. We weren't able to bring it up. They didn't bring it up. There wasn't so much of this like sex positive understanding and the value in that. So people tend to be uncomfortable bringing up the topic of sex, even as adults. You're facing a major relationship decision. Often we imagine that people go to couples therapy because they're facing down the possibility of breaking up. This can be an important function of therapy, and many people who go to couples therapy when their relationship feels like it's at a breaking point find it to be enormously helpful. Though couples therapy doesn't necessarily function as a magic talisman against breakups, a couples therapist or counselor can help you sort through why you're facing this decision and how to navigate through the healthiest path for both of you in the midst of heady emotions. If you do decide to break up, a couples counselor can help mediate the process and make it as healthy, kind, and equitable as possible, and make it more likely you can stay friends afterward if that's what you want. Couples counseling can also be a place to process big decisions, even when they aren't as scary as breaking up. Even developments you're looking forward to, like moving in together or deciding to have a child, can bring up complex feelings for both of you and proving challenging to navigate for the first time. Talking about these big transitions in a supportive space with a trained professional can make them more manageable and help you avoid the pitfalls that couples can sometimes fall into at these pivotal times. Sometimes it's just nice to have a safe space where you know this therapist is non-judgmental and they're neutral, they're not picking sides, and you can really talk through things and feel safer doing that in that environment than trying to sort through that on your own, where you're afraid maybe your partner's going to have a big emotional reaction or that it's going to go off the rails somehow. Some couples just seek out that safe space to learn skills on how to effectively communicate, but also to just be able to work through issues that they're not successfully working through on their own. One major relationship decision many find it helpful to discuss in counseling context is the choice to have an open relationship or pursue non-monogamy, which I've written plenty about. So feel free to look back at other articles or other talks that I've given. So anyway, non-monogamy from a previously closed monogamous relationship. They're beginning to think they want to do something different. This can be an exciting step that's fulfilling for many people. And also, even when all parties involved are really enthusiastic about it, it can also bring up unexpected emotional reactions and require new relational skills and strategies for sorting through it. A couples therapist can help you build the foundation of trust and communication for this step and work through any challenges that crop up as you move through it. You're trying to recover from a major rupture or a breach of trust. When relationship experience major ruptures like cheating, breaches of trust, or extremely challenging conflicts, it's actually very common to decide you want to stay together and try to work it out. However, we may find that this is easier said than done. Even if we've made the intellectual decision to move on, we may struggle with letting go of resentment and anger, and we may struggle to feel truly safe with our partner in our nervous system. Whether you decide to stay in the relationship and try to work it out, or you decide to part. Like I said earlier, therapists can help you separate and redefine the relationship so that you can walk away from each other in a friendly, loving way. A couples therapist is a great resource to support you both through this vulnerable time. A skilled therapist can help you process and express feelings of anger, hurt, and shame so that you can move through them and let go of them for good. And you may be surprised to find couples therapy can also help address some of the issues that may have led to the rupture in the first place. We all have histories, right? We all were raised in different environments, different types of parenting, different cultures, different races, different religions. All of that plays into the dynamics that we have with a partner. So it's helpful to have somebody, again, that you can trust, that's neutral, and that can really help support you in having healthy communication in your relationship and addressing conflict, because that comes with a relationship. You're going to have conflict. It's normal. If you don't, then I'd be worried. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today and being here with me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. For those who have, thrilled to have you here. And I'll be back next week with another awesome topic to cover. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Kisses, hugs. See you then.